Hey guys, welcome back for another daily crypto forecast. Today we're going to be taking a quick look at Bitcoin BTC, and then I'm going to be doing also Ethereum and EOS. Ethereum is being very requested lately by members of my premium groups and also on comments on YouTube, so we're going to be having a quick look today. So for Bitcoin BTC, I'm just going to focus on the 4-hour chart because I have been doing the long term, in every other video. So if you want to know my longer term view for Bitcoin BTC, watch my recent forecasts. I'm going to be linking them down below. I say this is going to continue to go up slowly, probably sideways for a little longer, and then slowly going up until we reach these strong levels of resistance, and from here I expect rejection. I made a tweet, I think it was 3 weeks ago, Bitcoin back to 5,000 by the end of January. I shared this before we started bouncing, as you can see here in the picture, and you see this arrow, it goes it goes into this cross where these two main trend lines cross. My arrow is pointing, that the price will go into this cross and then rejects. So I didn't keep these arrows on the chart because I do technical analysis every day, and if I keep all these arrows here, it's gonna look too messy. But I'm gonna try to simulate these arrows. So it was somewhere from here going into the cross, something like that. It was actually pointing to 4,600, something like that. So by the beginning of February or end of January, somewhere there where these two main trend lines cross. So we are perfectly in track. I don't think this is turning bearish or anything. It's just going sideways. The volatility and the volume is going down because it's normal during holiday season, especially in a bear market. There's not a lot of excitement right now. So we could still be going sideways for a lot longer here until eventually, break a little bit in the upside, and here we would be finding these strong resistances and reject from there. So this is still following this path, and that's what I have for Bitcoin BTC. Moving on to the Ethereum 1 week candles for a longer term view, we have had really strong bounce here. So let's see how strong this bounce was. 94% plus bounce, and it's still going. It's still not rejecting, at least on a weekly on the weekly time frame. We still don't see any red candles, so this is still bouncing, which means it's almost a 100% bounce. Is a very strong bounce. Is very bullish, really. We will have to see how this retraces, how deep it will retrace when it finally retraces. But you gotta be very careful at this level, because we are approaching the downtrend resistance line and the 20-week moving average. I can say this with 80-90% confidence. The price is going to reject heavily at the 20-week moving average and at this downtrend resistance line here. So obviously right now it's not the time to be buying and FOMOing in here. It's not impossible that this continues to go up and it breaks in the upside and it goes parabolic. It wouldn't be impossible, but I find it so unlikely. Like I would give it like 5 or 10% chance of that happening. So right now it's time to be careful. It's time to be taking profits. If you bought the dip or if you are in profits, I would say it's soon going to be time to be taking profit. Let's take a look at the smaller time frames. So I am at the 4-hour time frame for Ethereum. Yes, still bouncing, but volume already going down. So we're, as I said, we're gonna have very strong resistances above us, and we're approaching those levels. We still have some room to go up a little bit more, but we're getting closer and we're getting farther and farther away from support. So now the risk reward to enter long here is not good enough. I mean, if you're doing the very short-term trading, maybe in the 15-minute candles, yeah, maybe there's some juice still left here, but be very careful, because as I said, I'm pretty confident this will reject the price. Once the price is rejected and and it really corrects, we have to see how deep it will correct, because if it only corrects to more or less 50% of this parabolic move, of this 95 or 100% bounce, if it retraces only to the 50% or even to the 61.8, that's gonna signal a lot of strength, and it could be, you know, I'm not calling bottoms here, it would be just one more signal that maybe the bottom could have been in this previous low. But again, we need to still wait to see if this touches the main resistance line, how deep it will retrace, and how the price is going to react after being rejected here. If it goes 50% down and consolidates there for a long time, I would still expect to get another rejection when it eventually touches these downtrend resistance lines again, this resistance line again, and then let's see if the previous low is broken. Then I think we have a long way to go down, but for now it's looking, you know, it's starting to look bullish, so we're gonna have to continue to monitor this. Moving on to the EOS versus the US dollar, these are again the weekly candles, and basically the same that I was saying for Ethereum. Let's see this one, how much it bounced. This one already bounced 100% plus. This is a huge, very strong bounce. The volume is really impressive as well. It's almost as high as it was at the very peak of the bubble, at the all-time high. So it looks very much like this wants to be the bottom. I'm not calling bottom, but we're starting to see some, you know, little signals that it could be the bottom. You know, guys, looking at the technicals, this looks more and more that it could, you know, it could have been the bottom. The one thing I don't like is the amount of hype and hope that we see when it comes to market sentiment, because that's not usually what you see at market bottoms, at the end of bear markets. That's the only thing I'm not liking at all. But if I look at the technicals, man, this is looking like a bottom of the market bounce. It's a 100% plus bounce, V-shape, very decisive. And well, it's still going. I mean, it looked like maybe it was going to retrace, but we don't know yet if this is actually going to retrace or continue higher. And I would say there's a nice chance it'll continue higher in the next maybe couple weeks or 3, until, like I said, for Ethereum, it touches this downtrend resistance line and the 20-week moving average. And from there, we will see the real correction. If these resistances send the price all the way down to the previous low, that's going to be really bad. But if it reject the price only to 50% of the bounce, or even 61.8, that's going to look really good. And so, you know, mainly we gotta continue to monitor this and expect this line, this downtrend resistance line, to be broken, you know, before the recent low breaks. But for now, it's looking just really good. One other thing going for EOS better than Ethereum is that we are farther from this resistance trend line and from the 20-week moving average, which means we still have more room to go up here. This is not advice to FOMO in though, but we still have some room. 4 hours for EOS going absolutely sideways, and volume decreasing and volatility decreasing, very similar with Bitcoin BTC. I think this has a way to go sideways still for some more time, until it eventually breaks in the upside, just to go to the 20-week moving average and this downtrend resistance line and get heavily rejected from there. And I will take it from there, okay? I will explain when I see the rejection, how it looks, if it looks weak or strong. But for now, I say sideways until it changes, until we start breaking. It could break in the downside as well. I think it's just more likely it'll break in the upside to go and find the 20-week moving average and this downtrend resistance line. That's all that I got for you today, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you all tomorrow right here. Bye.